next door is the right-hand side. Actually, never mind. They're shutting those gates, so you are all set. Just important, though, if you have any small children with you whose feet do not touch the ground, just make sure they're seated away from those outside gates for their safety. Take a second, rearrange your party before we get going if needed. We'll be hanging out together for about 45 minutes to an hour as we explore our real working film and television studio. So sit back, relax, eat some snacks. It's almost showtime. And here's a look at Disclosure Day, a new movie from Steven Spielberg.
People are starved for the truth.
The human race cannot accept what we know.
From Steven Spielberg.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
If you do this, there's no one doing it.
That's the plan.
This is Disclosure Day.
Disclosure Day will be in theaters June 12th. And with that, let's say goodbye to all those people. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And now say hello to me. Hi.
Hello.
My name is Emily. I'm going to be your tour guide this evening, accompanied by our driver. Her name is Trey. And we have a celebrity co-host. Might recognize him from The Tonight Show on NBC. Welcome to the screen, Mr. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Emily.
And the greatest driver.
Trey.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Emily.
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to go to the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, everybody. Some important pieces of safety information. First, if you have a medical emergency or drop something of value off the side of the tram or have any major sound or video issues, please reach up, grab that red emergency cord that runs along the center of the ceiling of the tram. Return to a seated position. I'll come back to assist you as soon as it's safe to do so. Otherwise, during this entire tour, as the studio is private property, you must stay on board this tram. You're not disembarked for any reason unless otherwise instructed, keeping your arms, legs, and personal items inside the gates at all times and remain seated. As a reminder, there's no smoking, vaping, or use of selfie sticks allowed. Be prepared, this tour is going to feature loud noises, sudden tram movements, fire effects, and water effects. And with that, you are safety spieled. So now I can officially say, welcome to Universal Studios Hollywood, our namesake, because we were a movie studio long before we were ever a theme park or a franchise. Universal Studios is a part of NBC Universal, the world's leading entertainment companies. Includes Universal Pictures, Focus Features, Peacock, Universal Television, and more. And this year, our network, NBC, is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Quite the milestone. From bringing us trailblazing radio and television to TV shows like The Voice, The Office, Saturday Night Live, The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, and every beloved show in between, NBC has been the home of news, sports, and entertainment for an entire century now. While we are celebrating our network all year long, we also have some cool stuff happening in the park, like a new roller coaster, Fast and Furious Hollywood Drift, set to open later this year. We're passing by the active construction site on the left. A little bit of ride testing sounds like it might be happening too, so keep your eyes peeled. But now, coming up on your right-hand side, you're going to see our very own fire station. Not props, not actors here at Station 51, but real heroes keeping us all safe. So as we come around the front, let's give our firefighters a big round of applause for everything they do for us. Thank you. They get their station number 51 from the TV series Emergency from the 1970s, an NBC classic. And it filmed all over the San Fernando Valley with lots of fun, lots of action. But it's also been credited by quite a few folks as their inspiration to become real firefighters, real EMTs, ultimately saving real lives. So not bad for a fictional TV show to have that kind of effect. But we wouldn't even have that show or the countless other productions from the past century if it weren't for our movie studio. Universal opened on March 15, 1915. And on screen, you'll see our founder, Carl Laemmle. He was an immigrant from Germany who made his way to sunny Hollywood and didn't just found Universal. He also created our original studio tour. Back then, movies were this new technology, so a tour was a great way to build excitement for those upcoming features. I gotta say though, back then it was a walking tour. So fortunately for us, in 1964, that's when they introduced the tram edition of the tour. So today, you get to ride and relax in style. But it also means today you join literally a century-old legacy here in Hollywood of guests coming into Universal to learn about the movie making magic. And that magic starts here, in this area we call the front lot. As you look around, you see these large black and white buildings everywhere that we call soundstages. And a soundstage is like a big empty warehouse where about 80 to 90% of all filming takes place. Inside is where you build your set. That's your filming location. And on screen, here are some iconic Hollywood moments that happened right here. As you can see, quite a variety of different productions have been here. But I do want to pause the screen so you can take a look at an empty soundstage. Kind of resembles a vacant Costco. No samples, no fun. But the fun happens when, of course, they build these sets and the actors come on board with their scripts, and it truly can become anything that you can possibly imagine. And something very exciting is actually happening today on the lot. It's the Cine Gear Expo, and it's where we have equipment of the latest and greatest stuff to make your movies and TV shows or whatever your production is. They're being showcased out here on the lot. So you might see quite a few people kind of milling about today as they are finishing up the expo. But it's really cool to see like the future of the movies is kind of being happening all right here on the lot. As you take a look to the left, Soundstage 14 comes into view for you. This is one of the biggest stages on the lot, standing at about 20,000 square feet, and it was once home to the Grinch on Mount Crumpet in Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, starring Jim Carrey. So this is where they built the big cave where the Grinch lived, and of course, Dr. Seuss, that's sort of like a fantasy world in production design, but we can also do historical recreations here too. For example, Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks. You know that famous line, Houston, we have a problem? This was Houston. So they built NASA's Mission Control Room. And then flipping over to the right-hand side, we're passing by stage 15. They did a scene from Jurassic Park, directed by Steven Spielberg. The part where the kids are running from the raptors in the kitchen. So kind of cool to think that these big Hollywood moments, in a way, are just like next door neighbors here in a backlot. But let's get you back to some modern productions with these smaller sound stages coming up. All right, starting with number 16, did some scenes with the Academy Award-winning Best Motion Picture Oppenheimer with Cillian Murphy. We also have a new show coming out called The 5-Star Weekend with Jennifer Garner, Gemma Chan, Timothy Olyphant, and the all-star cast. Currently, you can see Hacks on HBO Max, starring the wonderful Jean Smart, multi-award winning actress. They did many of their scenes right here. The 5th and final season is now airing on HBO Max, and we're also about to bring you season 2 of a little show called The Paper, a spin-off of the long-running NBC comedy The Office.
Hi, Studio Tour! We're here on the lot where we film The Paper, which follows our characters' day-to-day lives as employees of a struggling newspaper, the Toledo Truth-Teller.
That's right. Unlike many other TV shows, The Paper uses multiple cameras and a variety of shot types and movements to give our show a true documentary feel.
Because the camera is always around whenever we're on the set, it's important that we stay in character.
Got it. Hey, Oscar, what's your favorite part of working on the lot?
I wasn't expecting you to ask me that. You know what? I love being around talented, wonderful, hilarious people. I also get to work with Chelsea Fry. How about you, Chelsea? What's your favorite?
Oh, I love waving to the trams.
Oh. Okay. You can probably stop waving now.
No, it's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah, just try. It's great.
While The Paper is a spin-off of The Office, as you take a look to the left, we have real office spaces. I always recommend looking at the names on the placards because you might recognize some of them. In the past, we've had Dwayne Johnson, actor and producer, he had office here. Also have companies including Illumination Entertainment, who have brought you Despicable Me and the Minions, also Super Mario Galaxy. And we have Mark Platt Productions. They're the team behind Wicked, the long-running Broadway musical, now Oscar-winning film franchise. Be sure to watch Wicked for Good, now streaming on Peacock. One more office to point out from our classic section with a little silhouette. Offices of Alfred Hitchcock, the horror director, brought us classics like Vertigo, The Birds, and Psycho. But our new office over here on the left with the big windows, this is connected to the stage where we film St. Denis Medical.
Welcome to St. Denis Medical Center.
St. Denis Regional Medical.
I have access to some really good stuff, and I will hook you up.
Yeah.
No, man. That was a test.
We're like the Avengers, you know?
We're not supposed to have favorite patients, but we do.
I almost don't want them to get better.
Pale, kind of blotchy.
It's the other one.
Oh my God, that's much worse. Wow.
So catch up on season 2 before season 3 comes out. It's fun to think that their hospital set is literally just behind that little door under the poster you see there. The show stars a great ensemble cast of comedians, including David Allen Greer, Wendy McClendon-Covey, and so many other stars. It's a lot of fun. But the reason they film here as opposed to like a real hospital is, first off, for flexibility. You can literally move our set hospital. You can move the walls out of the way to make room for your equipment or crew members in a way that you wouldn't be able to in a real hospital. Also, imagine you're showing up for an appointment or something a little more intense like a surgery, and then there's like a camera crew and stuff. Might not really be the most appropriate situation for either party involved, so building a hospital right here makes it all come to life a little bit better. Just beyond our sound stages, you see a little bit of our metropolitan sets. We're going to go by them quick since they're still doing the exposition, but here's just a little intro from our co-host, Jimmy Fallon.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York! I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. What's got mugged over there? An old woman. Tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here! I'm walking here! Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there.
Taking a look to the left, you can see where Jimmy Fallon was for that little promo shoot. We're going to be back in just a minute, but first, we're taking a detour into the jungle. Here's director Peter Jackson to welcome you to King Kong.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. And to me, Kong literally does that. I mean,
All right, everybody, we're going on a ride. Please secure any items like hats, water bottles, sunglasses, cell phones, because it's about to get very bumpy. Please turn off all flash, remain seated, and hang on tight. Here we go to Skull Island.
Fuck. Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years.
Alright, hold on. Have fun. I'll see you on the other side. Maybe.
up like the sign.
Anybody feel some of that jungleness in there?
Do I usually do it
A
again?
little more than this.
One-on-one?
Epic adventure was brought to us by director Peter Jackson and the team at Weta Effects. Weta is a digital effects company who has worked on many films, and they just took home their 8th Academy Award for their work on Avatar, Fire and Ash. Computer imagery has been an integral part of your favorite Universal films, bringing to life sci-fi, action, fantasy, and more. Another high-action show that was just filming on our Metropolitan sets here on our left-hand side is Spider Noir on Amazon Prime Original with Nicolas Cage and Lamorne Morris. Kind of cool comic book area. This is also where they did a stunt from Marvel's Captain America: The First Avenger, where Steve Rogers hangs onto a taxi as it swerves around the corner. We've also had some musical acts here, including the K-pop group Blackpink for their Deadline World Tour concert footage, and also Taylor Swift's Wildest Dreams. But another music superstar, Reba McEntire, she's been out here too, working on her TV series, Happy's Place.
Hey there, I'm Reba McEntire, and welcome to Happy's Place. We shoot our heartfelt comedy right here on the Universal lot. Now, like most TV shows, we are a multi-camera sitcom, meaning several cameras capture every scene from a different angle all at the same time. Each episode takes about a week to make, from the first read-through of the script to rehearsals to taping in front of a live studio audience. And let me tell you, every step is a blast. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you at Happy's Place.
Coming up on your right-hand side is another cool thing we got here on the lot. This is a gorgeous monster mural done by spray paint artist Tristan Eden. And technically, Tristan got his career started by first illegally painting billboards and buildings around town, but was eventually discovered and now gets to show us these gorgeous works of art. Some other folks hoping to be discovered are the contestants on The Voice Season 30, which films over here on the left in stages 30 and 31. It's where unknown singers have an opportunity to be coached by an industry professional, and one of those long-term coaches has been Reba McEntire. Fortunately, Reba also films her show just next door in the stages here, so depending on the time of the year, she's pretty busy running back and forth between her shows. But before those shows were here, we had this little pond we're passing by on the left, and this pond was once home to the creature from the Black Lagoon. We'll pause so you can take a look at the Gill Man on screen. And he was Universal's first original monster who celebrates his 72nd birthday this year. His costume was done by a woman named Millicent Patrick, one of the first women to work on the production side of Hollywood, starting her career as an animator over at Disney in films like Dumbo and Fantasia. But now we're going to take you to the home of the other Universal monsters, a place we call Little Europe. And as we travel through here, I want you to picture Dracula lurking behind a corner, or the unmasking of the Phantom of the Opera, or maybe even Frankenstein's monster, just looking for some friendly human contact. But this is our first opportunity to see these large-scale exterior sets, things that are too big to fit inside of our sound stages, and give you a sense of depth and realism for your films. While this probably is the equivalent of just a couple city blocks, it really makes it look like it goes on forever. It makes it look like a giant city. In the past century, it's been transformed into places like Egypt in 1933's The Mummy, and Paris in 1923's The Hunchback of Notre Dame. But it's been the home of Universal's most iconic monsters.
We don't always think of monsters.
Dracula, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein,
The Mummy.
The Hunchback of Notre Dame, The Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera. Classic films. They're just brilliantly made. That Frankenstein image, flathead, it's one of the great icons of the world. That to me was like the essence of the Universal horror film. I was just mesmerized by it. Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney.
I remember the original Universal Studios Mummy movie really scaring me.
They still ring in our memories now. We love them.
I always like to say, if you have an opportunity to watch these early monster films, just to really take in the beauty of these early films. At the time, it was a new technology, so seeing one of these early films meant that maybe for the first time ever, you were seeing moving pictures or special effects makeup, or maybe even faraway lands that you wouldn't get to visit in your everyday life because travel just wasn't as accessible as it is today. And while these early films are the birthplace of horror, by today's standards, they're usually not too bad. Even the Frankenstein movies have quite a bit of comedy in them, if I do say so myself. And my goodness, I think you guys are ready for it. It's time for me to tell you about the dead people. But that's okay, they were in the afterlife. Or should I call it, the good place?
You, Eleanor Shellstrom, are dead.
Cool.
This location, the afterlife, come on. I've never ever seen this. You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Well, maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Well, it was awesome. And now's a good time for me to say we're probably about halfway through our tour, but once again, if you need guest assistance, just reach out, grab that red emergency cord, otherwise sit back and enjoy the show. And now we're going to take you inside a soundstage, so just remain seated, double check you're hanging on to all your items, don't want anything to fall onto our set. Inside here we have a subway station. See this in movies like Beverly Hills Cop 3 with Eddie Murphy. But this can be any city that you need just by changing the signs around. If it comes to New York or San Francisco. On the left, you might even notice there's a track on the ground. That allows you to roll in train cars. You can time them out very nicely with your takes. But what I love about a soundstage is we can do anything in here, including things like special effects. Don't have to wait for nature to play with your timing. So you're going to want to hang on tight as we bring you a little Hollywood earthquake. Get ready to rumble! How exciting was that, everybody? Give yourselves a big round of applause. You just experienced Earthquake, the big one! Well done, my actors. I gotta say, a couple Oscar-worthy moments from the crowd out here, particularly when that water started rushing down at the end. So good. But it makes sense if I feel a little shocked or scared by what was going on, because what you just experienced is what we call a practical effect. Practical means real. So the fire, the water, the shaking, all happening in the moment. But before the invention of CGI, computer-generated imagery, practical effects were all we had. And in the 70s, there was a young director who took practical to the next level by utilizing the open ocean as a set. And that young director was named Steven Spielberg, and the movie was Jaws. So welcome to Amity Island, quaint little New England town, unfortunately ravaged by a set of infamous shark attacks in summer of '75. And unfortunately, also the summer of 2026. Please keep your arms and legs inside the gates at all times and remain seated. We do not want to become shark bait. He's headed right for us. Oh no! Jack? Jack, what are you doing? Jack, there's a shark! Get on the boat, Jack! Swim! No! Oh, this is awful. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. I can't look. Every night in my dreams, I see you, I feel you. I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go. There goes my heart of the ocean. And now there goes the dock. Great. Okay. We're gonna need a bigger tram. Call. But just a little observation. Some of you seem completely unfazed by the very real fire, but terrified of a plastic shark, huh? Fascinating. Nothing to worry about, because that's just an animatronic. His name is Bruce. An animatronic is like a large robotic puppet. Like a puppet. With teeth. Actually, the more I think about that, I don't like it. Never mind. We're going to leave this forsaken vacation island behind, and instead, I'm going to talk about me for a second. How indulgent, I know. I am from the great Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington. Anybody else? Nope, not a soul. That's okay. Even if you're not from Seattle, you might know the weather that it's known for, and that is rain. And I've been living in LA for a few years now, and you know, we have beautiful weather all the time. I'm not complaining, but you know, sometimes I do get a little homesick. I miss the mist, I miss the evergreen trees. But luckily, I can turn to the special effects team to bring that Washington vibe back to me. So mostly on the left-hand side here, we're gonna bring you a little bit of a storm. Got speakers in the buildings for thunder. Strobe effects for lightning, then the best technology in the business for rain. Sprinklers! Very nice. And for anyone filming the rain, you might notice how it's not showing up on your camera the same way it does the naked eye. That's because rain is translucent, making it pretty difficult for the camera to pick up in the first place. So to make this work for a movie, you have to light it very specifically and then use a lot of it. So this torrential downpour is more like a romantic drizzle on screen. And our special effects team, they know you've seen rain before, so let's kick it up a notch. Watch out for the flash flood! Oh my goodness. Very nice. On screen, you can see this effect of Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti and Frankie Muniz.
You can't hurt the wolf, kid! Yeah, we'll see about that. Hey, everybody,
Poor guy. He's getting washed all the way back to Amity Island with the shark. Don't worry, we're not doing the Jaws attraction. We're just driving by, but this time I'm going to let Steven Spielberg do the talking.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a greater circle of tremendous designers at Universal. They were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to audiences in a real way by building a physical shark that would come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the tram. And the most amazing thing about the Jaws ride is it is exactly as it was from the time it was first placed on the Universal lot. There have been tweaks, of course, over the years, but it is essentially what the designers and myself all envisioned and created.
Spielberg likes to refer to Universal as his first home, as we are the studio that launched his career with Jaws. But now time to take a look at a few other homes here as we visit our Colonial Street. This is actually home to Ted of the Ted series, you know, fuzzy but at times foul-mouthed teddy bear.
Ted Bennett, 2 feet 5 inches. I am locally based, SAG eligible, and I will not shave.
And Ted is brought to life using a combination of computer imagery and puppetry. So it's really fun just to imagine Ted the bear kind of running around all these houses as he is brought to life in the Peacock series. Some other famous families of this street include the Munsters. They resided at 1313 Mockingbird Lane, but some of you might know this as Wisteria Lane from the ABC drama Desperate Housewives.
If there is one thing everyone in suburbia can appreciate, it's a good neighbor.
They did some crazy things on this show, like set a house on fire and have a tornado cut through, and that's all okay because none of these houses are real. In fact, this house on the right-hand side with the little back patio, as you come around the front, try to look through the windows on the front door. You'll see a great view of the valley, not because they have a big window, but because this house doesn't even have a back wall. It's only built up on the sides facing the tram. Weird, right? But with a little bit of editing, you can use the outside of this house, and then the interior is usually a soundstage or someplace completely different. That allows you to utilize these for different projects over and over and over again. But just a little bit of set dressing. And a show that's really putting these houses and editing to the test is the new Peacock series, The Burbs. That's sort of a comedic murder mystery show on Peacock. But another thing that just filmed here was Ariana Grande's Hate That I Made You Love Me music video. There's a really cool sequence with like a car wreck with pyrotechnic techniques, which was literally right here where the tram is now. But on that note, good time for me to say we're probably about 10 to 15 minutes from the end of the tour. We'll be taking it back to the park. But if you can't wait to use the restroom, or if anything else pops up, once again, just let me know by reaching up and grabbing that red emergency cord. Still plenty of fun as we come around the corner. I'm going to show you Universal's collection of picture cars. All vehicles you've seen in movies and TV shows, some just as famous as the actors that drive them. Sure, look around on both sides. Maybe find some of your favorites, but I'll highlight some of mine, like the Back to the Future 2 cars on the right, so they thought the world of 2015 would look like back in the 80s. Might even catch the Flintstones, man-powered cars, like to call them. They don't have engines. Also have Bumblebee from Transformers. The other yellow cars are from Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Classic Duesenberg over here from The Mummy with Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz. Such a good combination of vehicles. But it is interesting they're parked behind this little family-owned establishment. But I gotta tell you, something bad happened here once. A lady checked in, and was never seen again. Anybody ever hear of the Bates Motel? An iconic location of Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho from 1960. In the film, Marion Crane meets the handsome Norman Bates, but this would be no love story.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Instead, the unthinkable would happen, and Hollywood horror would be changed forever. This film featured, for the first time ever on screen, blood and direct violence in the very first flushing toilet. But it wasn't the toilet that scared people. More so the reveal of Norman's beloved mother.
They're probably watching me. Well, let them see what kind of a person I am.
And you know, I hear Mother still hangs out upstairs on that second floor window on the left, where she's been sitting since 1960. tram's only driven through here since '64, so.
See, and they'll know. They'll say, my sheep will leave
Oh, so creepy. So let's take you away from that creepy scene and change the mood once again as we bring you to the beautiful New Jersey. Yeah, the Garden State. Although it doesn't really look like a garden anymore, because this is the aftermath of an alien invasion as seen in Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. For this scene, they did replicate a real New Jersey neighborhood, tore it apart, and maybe most impressive, dropped a real 747 aircraft on top of it. That's a real plane. Look around, see how many pieces you can find, and on screen, here it is in War of the Worlds.
The airplane crash site is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around vision. You forget, you sit down and talk about the world. I thought, what if the 747 was like because it's just something you don't see.
Close your eyes, okay? Now close. Robbie, get in. Get in.
It's quite the sight. And now we're going to take you into a different sci-fi film, one that took place right here in Southern California. We're about to check out Jordan Peele's sci-fi thriller with a little bit of a Western motif called Nope. First, a video intro by Jordan, followed by a sound design demonstration to bring this movie to life.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky and Julie Park. Over there, look into the winking well and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie Kid Show. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Why? A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. Built to showcase an unbelievable new live show. It's not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy, gold rush frontier town, lies a sinister secret. It's smack dab in the center of the UFO hotspot. Welcome to the world of no.
Ominous, isn't it? If you want to find out what happened here, you're gonna have to watch the movie. And while Jordan Peele is a modern day filmmaker, he likes to use a lot of those practical effects to bring his movies to life. So there, for example, in Nope, there is a abduction scene, quote unquote, where it looks like a person's being like sucked up this way. But when they filmed it, it was actually just an actor laying on like a rolly cart, and they pulled them just in front of the camera going this way with them like screaming, doing all the acting stuff. But then they flipped the film vertically, so it made them look like they were ascending without any strings or anything, really making it that uncanny feeling to it. But it's really cool with practical effects. But coming up on your right is another incredible practical element. You're about to see the on-screen ship used in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, starring Matt Damon. And be sure to catch The Odyssey in theaters exclusively starting June 17th, just about another week from now. It is time for us to start wrapping things up, so thank you all so much for coming to the tour. I always recommend taking this tour multiple times. You never know what your tour guide's going to say. None of us do the same tour. Even if you get me, my next tour isn't going to be the same as this one. So always encourage you to come back. And one way to come back is by becoming an annual pass member. You can actually take your ticket to the box office, upgrade it to a pass of your liking, and it'll give you unlimited entries for a period of time, depending on which pass you get. And also that allows you to come back for Mega Movie Summer, returning June 13th through August 9th. See the movies and celebrate them here at Universal Studios Hollywood. You can meet the characters from Illuminations, Minions and Monsters, and Wicked, and celebrate the Fast and the Furious 25th anniversary with a Street Racers dance show and so much more. Don't miss themed food and merchandise plus live DJs every day this summer. But we can't close out the movies without one final bit of inspiration from director Steven Spielberg.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days there weren't trams, there were buses called the Gray Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom, and when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes until I'm sure the bus left, and then I had the entire lot to myself that day. And in those days, movie lots were so crowded because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world, on locations, but most of it was focused in those days, in the 60s, on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage, and I really felt, in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
What an incredible story, right? Obviously, it was the 1960s, so the shenanigans a teen could get into back then probably wouldn't quite happen the same way today. I mean, stay on the tram. But it's the idea that this kid came to Universal, had this big adventure, and not long after, at the age of 26, that's when Spielberg would be signed on with Universal to direct Jaws, the film that would be the highest grossing film of all time at the time of its release. So not bad for an unknown and experienced Steven Spielberg, right? Really weird to think he was even an unknown after his incredible over 50-year career, half a century. And to think, Universal, our studio, has been around for just over a century, 111 years, and for Spielberg to, be part of quite a chunk of that is quite incredible. And maybe among us today is another filmmaker, or somebody who might grow up to be one. Hopefully one day we'll be telling your story too. But thank you all so much for coming out. Hope you found some fun, some inspiration, but it is time to take you back to the park. It's open for about another hour until 8 p.m. So if you need any last minute ideas, please check out the Universal Studios Hollywood app for maps, menus, wait times for attractions, showtimes, and more. And if you had so much fun, of course, feel free to upgrade your pass or upgrade your ticket to a pass so you can be coming back. And if you would like to purchase any Universal movies or shows, you can visit universalpicturesathome.com or any of our retailers here in the park. I'll be out there at the plaza if you have any questions or want to say hi. But on behalf of myself, Emily, your tour guide, and Trey,